History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
In the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling them.
This is the first time in a long they haven't let it. You see the sum of your pay.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 6.
And we begin our news at 6 o'clock tonight with a tragedy that has devastated an entire community. An 8th grader hit by a car and killed as he rode his bike to school this morning. That young boy only 14 years old.
He was crossing an intersection in Dayton right there on Highway 321 and County Road 676 when he was hit. All new at 6 o'clock tonight. Our Hannah McKenzie hearing from parents who will be hugging their children just a little extra tight tonight. Hannah?
Yeah, that's very true. Good evening, guys. So right behind me, that is where Tyrese Manigo was killed earlier this morning. He was only a few miles away from his junior high, Woodrow Wilson Junior High, and that's a route I'm told he took regularly. It's news no one wants to wake up to. A 14-year-old boy hit and killed on his way to school.
The young man was riding his bike to school and attempted to cross Highway 321 when he was struck by a southbound vehicle.
The community of Dayton now reeling over the tragic death of Tyrese Manigo.
He was the class clown. He was just hilarious.
Amanda Trussell's daughter had classes with Manigo at Woodrow Wilson Junior High.
She told me that he always walked or rode his bike to school. Seemed like a really long way to me to be riding to Woodrow Wilson, but, you know, she said he did it every day.
Manigo was about 4 miles from the school when he was struck. The news hitting close to home for many parents picking up their kids today.
It's devastating. I mean, I could imagine the parents, the kids that, you know, knew him goes to school. I would be heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for the family.
I'm beside myself. I mean, this could have been my son, you know. So we're all just, you know, coming to grips with what has just occurred.
Police tell us the driver remained on scene and is not expected to face charges. There are a few basketball games happening tonight at the junior high, and I'm told those are being dedicated in honor of Manigo. And after those games, one of those parents told me that some of the players are actually going to head here, and they're going to add to this memorial that's been set up for him just across the highway there. Reporting live in Dayton, Hannah McKenzie, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Hannah. Happening now, a community meeting getting underway with a focus on a controversial plan to expand a vital part of I-45. Now, the TxDOT plan would run about $7 billion, but some say the true cost of the plan is how it's going to impact people living in neighborhoods in the heart of our city. Channel 2's Andy Sirota joining us live with more on what people are saying about this project. Andy?
Bill, good evening. Tonight kicks off the second series of community workshops. Critics condemning this project say that people living in lower income and minority neighborhoods will be negatively impacted more than anyone else in Houston, including residents who live right here in this near North Side community where we are.
The view that you see right now, it's going to be completely destroyed.
Critics of the North Houston Highway Improvement Project admit there are issues with I-45 and that some of them need to be addressed, but say expanding its footprint is not the answer. They fear too many homes, businesses, jobs, historic sites, and green space would be lost. Not to mention the impact a wider freeway would have on air pollution and the increased potential for flooding. Tonight, members of Link Houston, a group advocating for a better transportation network, are eager to hear what adjustments and recommendations Houston planning officials will be making to TxDOT at the first of 3 community workshops.
What we're hoping to see tonight is a full range of options and possibilities where residents can continue to ask questions and provide feedback on the project.
A decision on the design of Segment 3, seen here in this map, is expected this summer. Until then, a TxDOT spokesman tells us today's design includes input TxDOT received from the public. We will continue to work with all stakeholders as we move forward with this project. We reached out to the City of Houston Planning Department, made several phone calls this afternoon to see what types of adjustments officials are recommending to TxDOT's current plan. We have yet to hear back. Live on the North Side tonight, Andy Sirota, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Andy. Been a chilly day, but no rain so far. That may change as we head into the evening, though.
It just might. Frank says we can expect a few sprinkles out there, so let's find out how many.
Almost those annoying kind that make the windshield wiper automatically go, and then it sends it, you know, that whole thing. So highs today were pretty regular. 56, 55, 58 across the board, and that's where we are generally right now. You can see 53 in Conroe, a little cooler, 54 Houston, 53 in Wharton, and these numbers really don't go down a lot as we head into the evening. Just grab a jacket or a sweater because it's certainly going to be on the chilly side, and it feels a little damp out there. We've seen a quick sprinkle or two. This is what we're watching for as we go into Friday as that system makes its way toward the Gulf. I'll have the model run on that. Earlier today, we had a few showers. I'm not sure all of these reached the ground, maybe 4 or 5 hundredths of an inch of rain, and that honestly was about it. And the FUTURECAST picks up on just the humidity and the cloud cover out there, suggesting we may pick up a sprinkle or two. But that's going to be it. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's pretty much on the dry side. So make sure everybody's bundled up as you head not only into this evening, but at least through Friday. We'll talk about the temperatures coming up. Quick sprinkle or two is a possibility, and then a super first February weekend straight ahead. That's all straight ahead in weather. Dominique?
Okay, thank you, Frank. We do have new developments today in the deadly explosion at Watson Grinding and Manufacturing that killed 2 men. 2 new lawsuits have now been filed against the company. The first suit filed by Harris County, which claims that the company violated the Clean Air Act by emitting pollutants into the air at the time of the blast. The other lawsuit today from an employee of the company, Sean Rangel, who says that he was pulling into work when the explosion happened, sending his truck flying and leaving him with severe injuries. But he says that is nothing compared to the loss of his friend, Frank Flores, one of the men killed in that explosion.
I'm blessed that I'm here. I might have to lose an eye or ear or whatnot, but they can't replace him. You know, he had a granddaughter, he has kids. They can't replace him. That's what I want to, you know, they need to be responsible for what they done to him.
Rangel, who worked at the company for 6 years, claims in his lawsuit that he saw chemical leaks at that plant before. Now, we did reach out to Watson regarding the previous leak allegations. They told us they cannot comment on ongoing litigation.
Only on 2 tonight, more uproar over criminal bonds. The latest case making headlines, a registered sex offender who did time for the attempted sexual assault of a child. And when David Ocampo violated the terms of his release, a judge gave him a $2,000 bond. Channel 2 senior reporter Phil Archer joining us live with details on this new bond controversy. Phil?
That's right, Bill. Renewed conflict today over how high a bond is appropriate to ensure the rights of the accused, but also ensure public safety, this time concerning a felony sex offender who prosecutors say should have been given a high bond, but wasn't. 22-year-old David Ocampo was arrested Wednesday and brought before a magistrate this morning for failure to comply as a sex offender. Ocampo served 3 years in prison for the attempted sexual assault of a child. He was supposed to have registered his address after being released from prison last October. But investigators contend he lied about it to Pasadena police, who filed the original case, and to Houston police and the Department of Public Safety. In magistrate's court today, the prosecutor asked the judge to assess the maximum bond.
Judge, I'm asking for $5,000 bond, but given the fact that he provided material false information on an official public record with the Department of Public Safety, and based on the nature of the offense and his history, I am opposed to a personal bond.
Ocampo's public defense counsel countered, asking for either an unpaid personal recognizance bond or a $2,000 paid bond, which required Ocampo to put up $200 to go free.
Can you make $2,000?
They can come up with $200.
Mr. Ocampo, I'll set your bond in the amount of $2,000.
Victims' rights advocate Andy Kahn says given Ocampo's record, he should have gotten the higher bond.
That sends out major signals. If he is not willing to comply with an extremely uncapricious issue of just telling anybody where you're going to live, what on earth makes you think he's going to abide by the rules and conditions of the law?
We tried to call Judge Castro today for comment, but were unable to make contact with him. David Ocampo is facing a third-degree felony for allegedly failing to comply. He posted bond this morning, but according to jail records, still has not been released. Reporting live downtown, I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Phil. Terrifying moments on a Kingwood College campus today when multiple police agencies responded after some people thought that they heard gunfire. Investigators say they received reports of a shooting at Lone Star College, Kingwood, right around 1:30 this afternoon. The nearly 4,000 students and staff members were told to stay in classrooms and lock the doors. Houston Police and Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies responded, but they found no evidence of a shooting. But even with it just being a scare, it still brings a real fear to the students and parents.
You hear about this stuff all the time, and you know, people dying, and just it's scary. Like knowing my son was in there, I rushed right away.
I definitely did consider the fact that I might not be able to go home today.
The campus has since reopened for students and staff to pick up their items left behind. Classes are set to resume tomorrow.
New at 6 o'clock, another local community turning to license plate readers as a crime-fighting tool. We've seen them added in Sugar Land, West University Place, and the Memorial Villages as well. Well, now Katy will soon be using them. 22 license plate readers similar to these will be installed across the city this spring. Katy's police chief says they will be strategically placed, mostly in the business district and in some neighborhoods. Automated license plate readers are essentially cameras that photograph the plates of passing cars, then check them against a database to see if the car is stolen or the owner wanted.
New Astros leadership is in place, at least on the field.
Dusty Baker, that's a name you're going to be hearing a lot of heading into this season, right, Randy?
That's right, guys. Dusty Baker is the new Astros manager. He put on that Stros jersey for the first time today, and he did address the sign-stealing scandal.
You know, I wasn't here, you know, when a lot of this happened, but I followed it, and I felt very, very badly for, you know, the city and the organization, and you know, whatever players were involved. But
more of what Baker said at Minute Maid Park, including the one thing he wants from his players from day one. And a countdown to Super Bowl. Our Ari Alexander live in Miami with the latest report ahead in sports.
And how safe is the food you're eating out? Houston health inspectors know, and I'm about to tell you what they found this week in our restaurant report card next on Channel 2 News at 6.
Good start. You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
Well, as far as I know, this is the last time I'm going to get to say cockroaches and rodent droppings on television, but they do take the spotlight in reports filed by Houston health inspectors this week.
Relish it, B. Here's Bill Spencer with the restaurant report card.
This week, creepy, crawling cockroaches staging a big comeback, hitting the kitchens at Houston area restaurants in a big way. Case in point, the China One restaurant at 381 Greens Road. Here, inspectors discovered a whopping 10+ live cockroaches crawling through the kitchen. Inspectors finding the majority of those insects crawling on the interior components of the refrigerator, where they noted all of the food containers were uncovered. Yuck! More cockroaches discovered at the Little Cafe located at 50 Briar Hollow. Here, the restaurant police discovered live cockroaches inside the plastic sleeve right next to the soda syrup boxes, which is where your soft drinks come from. Moving right along, we're at the China King Chinese Buffet at 5460 North Freeway, where inspectors uncovered a collection of rodent droppings right above the dishwashing machine in the kitchen food prep area. And finally, we are paying a visit to Chatter's Cafe and Bistro, located at 140 South Heights Boulevard, where the health department found, quote, a large amount of cockroach and rodent feces. Found them in several places on the door frames, near the water heater, and under a metal panel near the freezer. And tonight, our coveted A+ award for extreme journalistic integrity, for clarity, for professionalism, and for real heart goes out to Bill Baeza. Bill, you've been serving up the news hot and fresh for close to 50 years, and because of that, I'm saying, booyah! This award goes out to you because I really love you.
Oh. Thank you, Bill.
That's the truth. That's the truth, baby.
Good buddies. Thank you so much, Bill.
All right. Well played.
Bill Booyah Baezo. Can't beat that. Thank you, Bill.
You got it, brother.
Oh, man, what a good surprise. Thank you. Hey, Bill, always looking for ways to help Houstonians. If you'd like to reach the Spencer Solves It team, be a part of all that good energy, call 713-223-TIPS. You can also send an email to solvesit@click2houston.com. Bill could use all the help he can get.
Yeah.
Look at that. Did you ever think you'd get one of those?
I never did. That's pretty nice.
You do have a clean kitchen, actually.
That's right. Missy will be very
impressed. And a perfect inspection report, as far as we know.
No cockroaches, no rodent droppings.
Nope.
That we know of.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Hey, this is not a sunset from today, but I don't want your last days to be cloudy.
All right.
Oh, nice.
It's just a really pretty one. I thought, we'll just use that tonight. It's from a couple of days ago down in Galveston. A beautiful sunset there. So thanks for that, Ron. In the meantime, temperatures continue to be right there in the 50s. 56 north wind at 5 miles an hour. Humidity is up, as you know. The clouds are there. Galveston, 57, east-northeast winds at 7. So really, the 50s are where it is right now. Low 50s up to the north, 53, 54, 55. Take your pick. It's right there. It's going to continue to be, I think, in the 50s all evening, getting only down to about where the dew points are now, which is to say mid and upper 40s for overnight lows. The humidity, 70 and 80%. So if you go outside, grab a jacket. It's chilly and it feels sort of damp as it continue right through the evening hours. Not much wind now. It's been a fairly breezy one. It looks like that may start to calm down a little bit, 4, 5, 7 miles an hour, so not too much of a problem there. So we're right there in the mid-50s at 7 o'clock. Where we are now is we head through the evening, we stay there, and then overnight, so below 40s, a possibility, but 45, 46, 47, 48 at 6 a.m. So that looks like a pretty solid number. And then, here's the good news. We finally make it into the upper 50s and low 60s, maybe even 62 out there with some sunshine as we hit tomorrow afternoon. Here's what we're seeing right now. Just some light rain up to the north that has picked up. So if you're up there around Lake Livingston, off toward Crockett, you may be getting a sprinkle. Most of us in Houston are just looking at the cloud cover here and watching this system that's south of Del Rio right now. That's not doing much. You can see a little bit of a shower there, but it's going to continue to slide toward the Gulf, and it will pick up some moisture. Yesterday, the models had some of this in Matagorda Bay to about I-10. Today, they don't even have that. Showers stay well south of us. This is the latest model run, and you can see it's all in the Gulf and continues to be as we clear out and get the sunshine in here. High pressure behind this low is going to start to build in with the sun, so that's what will take over as we move into tomorrow, as well as Saturday and Sunday. In fact, Sunday, we get more of that southwest wind. That's always a warm, dry wind for us, so we'll really bake, if you will, into the low 70s, 76 by Tuesday. It doesn't last. Once we get to Wednesday, we cool back down again. There's some slight chances of rain with that front as it moves through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Rain through the weekend, not a lot. And then as we go into next week, not a lot more. Maybe a ½ an inch of rain all told, but we need some. There's a look at the drought monitor that came out today, and you can see we're abnormally dry as the yellow to some moderate and even severe drought across southeast Texas as well as the state. So we could use a little bit of rain, but but don't look for a lot as we go through today and the weekend. Look at that roller coaster, up to 76 Tuesday, and then right on down to 54, 60 Wednesday and Thursday. So here's the way it looks in the 7 and 10 day. 62 for tomorrow, goes to 66 Saturday, 72 for Groundhog Day, 30% chance of rain Monday, 40 on Tuesday, then 30 on Wednesday morning, and then we go into a dry period again with some lows maybe as low as the mid-30s as that next front comes through. But it's going to be a building weekend. It's going to build for the heat, the sunshine, up to Super Bowl, Groundhog Day, all good.
I get it.
Right. At Three Brothers Bakery called and said that for Weather Person's Day, Three Brothers Bakery is going to send you some nice fruit pies.
No, I don't like fruit. No.
He says, if it's not chocolate, it's not dessert.
That's right. Don't bother.
Yeah. That's like salad and cheese or something.
No fruit pies.
No fruit pies for you. Randy joining us now. A lot more on the Astros' big news.
That's been the big story last few days. The search is over 13 days out from spring training. They finally have a new manager on board. More from Dusty Baker's introduction today at Minute Maid Park and what this chance to be in Houston really means to him and the team moving forward. Plus, Ari's live in Miami catching up with Texans receiver DeAndre Hopkins next in sports.